The fire forged in adversity. Born in the beautiful yet rugged landscape of Wanahi, Hawaii, Holloway has risen to become one of the most revered warriors in the UFC's featherweight division. The story of Max Holloway's childhood could easily have been a tragic one. Max's early life was filled with challenges and hardships that would eventually pave the way for his incredible journey into the world of fighting. Max's father left the family when Max was just a child, forcing Max's mother to work multiple jobs to make ends meet. Max, like many of his peers, grew up surrounded by poverty and violence, but he found solace in the world of sports, particularly soccer. But the soccer ball wasn't the only thing that would get a taste of Max's kicks. Max Holloway's MMA journey began during his high school years when he met Josh Keanu, a 6'3" kickboxer. Intrigued by the sport and Josh's abilities, Max started watching Josh's training sessions and eventually decided to try kickboxing himself. It became quite clear that Max had a knack for this thing.
Coach told us, Max, someone dropped out. You want to fight? On Saturday, you gotta weigh 135. I was like, bet.
Since he won his first amateur bout after a mere 3 days of training. This early success had to mean something, right? The early days of greatness. At the young age of 19, Max had already amassed an impressive record of 4-0, showcasing his immense potential in the world of MMA. His undeniable talent and unique fighting style garnered attention from various quarters, and he was ranked as the number 7 featherweight prospect of the 2012 in Bloody Elbow's 2012 World MMA Scouting Report. Max's striking game was compared to that of former UFC and WEC lightweight champion Anthony Pettis, due to his exceptional ability to incorporate a wide array of flying and spinning kicks, knees, and elbows. One of the most notable moments in Max's early career was his split decision victory over Harris Sarmiento, a former Strikeforce and WEC veteran. On March 12, 2011, this win earned Max the lightweight championship belt for the Hawaii-based X1 promotion, further solidifying his reputation as a rising star in the sport and catching the attention of the UFC. Rising through the ranks. Max Holloway's first taste of the UFC came unexpectedly when on short notice he was called to replace an injured fighter. The task at hand was monumental. He had to face none other than Dustin Poirier, a formidable and experienced opponent. Despite showing immense promise, Max lost his debut fight to Poirier via submission in the first round on February 4, 2012 at UFC 143. This defeat, however, did not discourage at the time the youngest warrior on the UFC roster. Instead, it served as a valuable learning experience and a reminder that the road to the top would be a challenging one. Following his debut loss, Max Holloway bounced back with an impressive 3-fight winning streak, showcasing that he's got what it takes to fight in the UFC. A little known fact from that time period is that Max didn't even have a striking coach for the first 5 or 6 fights of his UFC career, although it seemed striking was in his blood. Max's next significant challenge came on August 17, 2013 at UFC Fight Night 26 when he faced the highly touted Irish fighter Conor McGregor.
The sport had a lot of bad decisions before me, so there's nothing to hold my head down about. I just can't wait to get back in there. I got a bright future at the UFC, and I can't wait to start Saturday again.
Although he suffered a unanimous decision loss, Max managed to go the distance with the future 2-division champion. The hunt for gold begins. A loss is only a loss if you don't learn, and I learned, is what Max said after his first UFC loss. It seems he kept this lesson close to heart, since after his loss to the Notorious, Max went on to amass an astonishing 13-fight win streak, including victories over notable fighters such as Cub Swanson, Ricardo Lamas, and Charles Oliveira.
And hopefully Oliveira is okay and it's a minor injury.
This incredible run earned him an interim UFC featherweight championship bout against Pettis on December 10, 2016 at UFC 206. Max dominated the fight, stopping Pettis at the 3rd round with a TKO and capturing the interim title. The era of the blessed. The next task at hand wouldn't be an easy one. The explosive king of Rio, Jose Aldo, stood between Max Holloway and the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship. On June 3, 2017, at UFC 212, Max Holloway faced the legendary Jose Aldo in a highly anticipated showdown. With his striking prowess on full display, Max defeated Aldo via TKO in the 3rd round. becoming the undisputed champion and cementing his legacy as one of the greatest featherweights of all time. Max's reign as the champion saw him defend his title 3 times, including a rematch against Aldo and a thrilling war with Brian Ortega, and a fight against the legend Frankie Edgar. During this era, Holloway's popularity soared as he captured the hearts of fans with his exciting fighting style, unwavering determination, and humble demeanor. Having established himself as the king of the featherweight division, Max decided it was time to conquer new lands. He set his sights on the lightweight throne, looking to become a 2-division champ. And who better to face than the man who gave him his first taste of defeat, Dustin Poirier. Their rematch was set for April 13th, 2019 at UFC 236, and it promised to be a barn burner. Max and Dustin went to war, trading leather for 5 grueling rounds. While Max showcased his lion heart, in the end, it wasn't enough to dethrone the Diamond. Poirier took home the unanimous decision, but Max's warrior spirit only grew stronger. The legendary rivalry against Volkanovski. Back in the familiar territory of the featherweight division, Max was ready to defend his kingdom, but a new challenger had emerged from the land down under, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. Their first clash at UFC 245 on December 14, 2019 was a close and thrilling contest. The Aussie's relentless pace, vicious leg kicks, and striking accuracy edged him past Max in a unanimous decision, snatching the crown from the Hawaiian king. But Max wasn't ready to bow down just yet. The two titans collided again in a highly anticipated rematch at UFC 251 on July 11, 2020. As you have probably seen for yourself, the fight was an excellent display of skill and heart. Many fans believed Max had done enough to reclaim his throne. However, the judges saw it differently, awarding Volkanovski the split decision victory, leaving Max without his beloved gold. The Blessed Express at full steam. Following the razor-thin losses to Volkanovski, whispers of doubt began to circulate. Some questioned whether Max Holloway could still hang with the top contenders, but Max was ready to remind the world why he was a legend. On January 16, 2021, he faced rising contender Calvin Kattar in the main event of UFC Fight Island 7, and boy, did he put on a show. Max morphed into a striking virtuoso, landing a mind-boggling 455 significant strikes that left jaws on the floor. He danced around Kattar, showcasing his otherworldly skill and heart for 5 glorious rounds. The unanimous decision victory was never in doubt, and Max stood tall, proving he was still a force to be reckoned with in the featherweight division. But here's the kicker. Max put on this awe-inspiring performance without sparring during his camp. That's right, Max blessed Holloway, went against the conventional wisdom of fight preparation, and still delivered a masterclass in striking. His next challenge came from the form of the dynamic and creative striker Yair Rodriguez. In the main event of UFC Fight Night 197, Max faced Yair in a thrilling battle. Both fighters put on an exhilarating display, but in the end, it was Max who emerged victorious, earning a hard-fought unanimous decision win. This triumph not only further proved Max's elite status, but also earned him another shot at the seemingly unstoppable Alexander Volkanovski. With this stage set for a legendary trilogy, Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski squared off once more, each seeking to cement their place as the featherweight king. Despite Max's best efforts, Volk's relentless pace, grappling prowess, and striking accuracy proved to be too much once again. Alexander Volkanovski emerged victorious, demonstrating why he is considered one of the greatest featherweights of all time. So, what's next for Max? Well, Max is only 31. He has never been KO'd, and he just keeps improving. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that we might see Max once again at the top of the featherweight division.